beginning by answering questions that were left unanswered over the course of the last 5, 6 days. And so while I was getting ready to turn the camera on, I decided to work on this one. This is Deepak Rohila. Rohila, he asked the question last week, what is universe's message for me? And so I drew a page at random out of just this book, and it came up to 178. And let's just take a look at 178. If you think that I am able to see your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that universal self. We have a hidden piece of ourselves that we can't see. There is that who we are, which is hidden. Our cosmic form is hidden from us. We can see it when we meditate. I think that I've seen mine once. Reza, welcome. Welcome. So, the message from the universe for you from page 178, and this is sort of a story or whatever here was with Krishna talking about, it was about seeing God and why it is we cannot see God. We have a cosmic form. But so often we can't see it. We can't see who it is that we are. So the message from the universe in this sense, Deepak Rohila, is that you need to open your eyes to see. I don't know how it is that you will do that. Prayer, meditation, writing, journaling, spending more time by yourself, less time on your phone. And that's actually a message to every one of us. Every one of us needs to. Merced, okay. I think I may have your question. Merced, I feel like I answered your question about Merced. I feel like I did in another video, Reza. But I will I'll ask that question again. So Reza, you have a question, and so I will put you down here as that. But let me just get back to so the message being of cosmic self, seeing what can't be seen. It's hard to see what can't be seen because it is in everything. So Reza, what does think of me? Okay. So I'm going to get back to him, to Deepak, to Rohila, and we're going to take 78. Let's see, that 88. I'm going to go take this, and I'm going to roll it down to page 88, and I'm going to go look in here at page 88 in the Prophet, and see if there it is, 88. Trust the dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity. Your fear of death is but the trembling of the shepherd when he stands before the king whose hand is to be laid upon him in honor? Is the shepherd not joyful beneath his trembling, that he shall wear the mark of the king? Yet is he not more mindful of his trembling? For what is it to die but to stand naked in the wind and to melt into the sun? That's interesting. That's almost like what I read on that other page, page 178. And what is it to cease breathing but to free the breath from its restless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? So it feels like the message what we have for you. And when you have reached the mountain top, then you shall begin to climb, and when the earth shall claim your limbs, then you shall truly dance. So about cosmic self, about dancing, about being who you were created to be. The message for Deepak Rohila is that you need to become who you were created to be. You need to become who you were created to be. You need to manifest your created self. Maybe who you were created to be is not something that's going to be manifested in that 9 to 9 job that you're going to be working or you are working. Who you are created to be is more than your job. It's more than your relationships. It's more than your family. It's more than your culture. But within all of those things, Deepak, you are a part of your culture. You are a part of your family. You are a part of your job. You are a part of your earthly identity. 178. 8 and 8 is 16, and that equals to 7, the number 7. Welcome. Welcome, Brandy. Welcome, Desiree. 178. 178. We are going to do this. I am going to see what the what we have here at random. 178. What is that energy to me? We're looking at magician energy. I think I'm going to pull it out of 17 and 178. 18, 21, 5 to 1, the magician. 8, the strength card. 7 is the chariot. So what we have is you are going forward and doing something. What is this about? What is a message from the universe for you, Deepak Rohila? You have in your possession all that you need to find out who it is that you are. The wand of the magician, the sword of intellect, the cup of heart, the coin of body, the staff of your passion. In this number 178, we are looking at, you are just moving forward. You are moving forward on a path. You're just barreling along. But it sounds like you're a little bit unconscious of things, and is this need to be strong. 17888. Manifesting forward momentum in your life. I don't know if this message even makes sense. Maybe I'm not going about it as well, but when I look at those 2 pages about your cosmic sense, seeing what can't be seen, looking within to see who you are, to be in quiet, be in the quiet, to spend time in silence. And there, maybe your cosmic self will reveal it to you. I probably didn't answer your question at all, Deepak, Rohilla, but we will go on. And we'll go on to Rosiah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, Desiree. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Maria. I had a strange thing happen. One of my videos here got copyright claimed. I got a copyright claim for this sound when I strike this thing with a hammer. Welcome, Nate. I got a copyright claim on my on that for the sound, which sounded like something else that somebody did. So, for the time being, I don't know if I'm going to use this because I can be copyrighted. Yes, so the AI identified the sound as it existed in some file someplace that was used. I think it was used by some. So the tone from this incense burner, when I struck it with that hammer, that tone was recognized as having already been copyrighted someplace else. So it may not be something that I can use. Yes, we're on a 5-second delay, all right. So for today, I'm just gonna put it aside, or I will clear the air and I will mute the camera out, and so it's only heard to me. And so that's what we'll do. We're gonna go to Rosiah, and then we will go on to the next questions. Mother Mary, Rosiah has a question. She wants to know what Murshid thinks of her. What are his feelings? Is he in love? Is it all just an illusion? Is it all just an illusion what these feelings are? So, Rosiah, please be here with me. All right, Nathaniel, I will be with you as soon as I can. I muted the wrong device. This device shouldn't be muted now. It should be unmuted. Is it unmuted? I muted this device just for a second. Can you all hear me? Welcome, Karen. Welcome. Okay, you heard the bell briefly. So you heard it at the end of it. Okay, you can hear me. All right. So, Rosiah, I want you to be here with me and guide my. Are you here, Rosiah? Please. I know, and I'm not pronouncing your name right, am I? I know I'm not. Rezia. Oh yeah, you are here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay, so we need to mix and match the cards up together. And we'll try to just see what happens. Tell me when to stop shuffling here. Tell me when to stop shuffling, Messiah. Mother Mary, Messiah seeks the truth. What does Murshid think of her? Okay. We'll just do 4 or 5 cards here. He does have a positive feeling towards you. He has positive feelings, but he's a little bit restless. He feels that he needs to guard himself. He's in a defensive position. He's defensive, hot-headed, restless, but he's like a sun, like the sun and the moon. Oh, Moon Honey, I got your question. It's actually right down here. So he's got a very sunny disposition. He's happy. He's vibrant. When he sees you, his eyes light up. But underneath it all, he is restless. He's brash. He may have a little bit of an attention deficit. And then there's this need to defend himself because he's had a lot of bad experiences with relationships, bad experiences with the passions, and this need to wall himself up in a cocoon of these sticks. You are on the other side of those sticks, and he's here waiting and watching for the next thing to come his way. And there is a sense of triumph of the situation being denied. Denied triumph. Denied a victory. So what does he think of you? What does that mean? What does all this mean? A sunny disposition. He's attracted to you, clearly. But he's got his own problems that are standing in the way. Being defensive. Oh. Well, so for your... you know what? You do know that that divination, that the prophets of the Bible used divination in order to gain insight from God. They used tools. And actually, if you really want to know, sir, the Bible is a tool of divination. The Bible is a tool of divination. When you open up the scriptures, I'll just kind of show you here. Let's just kind of I'll just get some scriptures here and we'll kind of show you. When you open up the scriptures, but I think you're just a troll here. When you open up the scriptures, when you open the scriptures up, sir, and you go and look at this, You look at these words and you try to figure out what they mean. And you ask a question and you open up the scriptures and that scripture answers your question. That process is the same as this. And you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that because for you, Mr. Troll Christian guy, this is not this, that this here is okay, while somebody doing this is not, when it is the same gift of the Spirit. Opening up a book and asking a question and opening up a book and getting the answer. That is the same as what I just did here. It is the same as what I just did here. But I know you don't believe it because you're just here to troll me and to harass by all these nice folks here in the chat. Okay. So I don't know that I really answered your question there. I got kind of distracted here. I got distracted by here. So what does Merced think of you? I think that he has some things going on from the past. He has some past wounds, some past senses of not being successful in passion, in relationships. He's kind of bruised. He's got a bruised ego. And sometimes when he's interacting with you out of this experience. And so his own past experiences that need to be defensive, this need to, because this be defensive or be on the defense, you get kind of a dichotomy going on. You have this sense of, yeah, it seems like he likes you. He likes you. The sunny disposition. You feel good when you're around him, but underneath it, there is a woundedness, and you sense that woundedness. And so is he going to pull the trigger and ask you out on a date or ask for that relationship to be greater than it is? I don't know. I think that's a time thing. And so let's just go take a look at these numbers here. These numbers. And we have my up numbers and down numbers. So our up numbers, my up numbers are 19 and 9, 28. We're looking at 28, so that's 10, and a beginning and ending at the same time, and then we have night, that's 12, 18, 12 plus, yeah, right? Yeah, 12 plus 6, 18, so we have 18 on the down numbers, the up and 18 down, so it's a 9, 109, and what we're looking at is, in one sense, you're at the beginning of things, and there's infinite potential, a beginning with infinite potential, but in the other sense, you're at the end of the line here. And this 9 here is kind of, it's at the end, and so this desire to go click over into the next cycle, just click over into the next one, is completely blocked right now. And 9 and 10 together, 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. And so what you have here in this situation, just with this numerically, is that this new beginning is is blocked. It's a blocked new beginning. That's what I have. That's what I got. So at this current time, um, that new beginning that you're seeking is not going to be happening. It's not going to be happening at this moment in time. Okay, so we have another question here. There was another question, and I gotta go back and find that. Okay, let's go find it in here. Uh, I, I, so if you go and look at my page, Tools of Fortune here, and so if you've been, if I don't know how many people have asked questions here. I'll start a new post here, but you can always come to the post, the community tab post page, and you can put your questions here, and then especially if there's a lot of you in here right now. So let me just go in and see. Okay, Moon Honey does have a question, and I do have a question from Moon Honey. Now there was another person who had a question. Mm-hmm. Moon Honey has a question, and Isaiah question. Sarah Jane Desiree. Okay, Desiree. Nathan. Okay, Nathan has a question. I muted the wrong device. Well, that was Maria who said that. Maria has a question. You're asking the question. All right. So as we go into the chat, Brandy Lee, welcome. And so we have Maria. Does your person really want to leave you alone? Now, I think I'm going to go to Moon Honey's question next because she was asked that on the other day. And then we will go to Maria's. Let me do my bookkeeping here. So we have Maria, and Maria's question is: does my person really want me to leave them alone? So what do you want, Maria? What is it that you want in this? So if we were to turn the question around, what do you want? What do you want? Nathan, this is live. This is live. Welcome, Nate. Welcome, Nate. So does Nathan has a question? No, this is not AI. It's not AI, Nathan. As far as I know, it's not AI. Maybe we're all AI. Are we all AI? We're all part of the AI? We're all AI. Okay. Okay, where are we at? No, there's no new questions, no new anything coming in here, no new chats. Or did, when I blocked that one guy, did it end the chat for everybody? So Nathan doesn't have a question, but Moon Honey does. Okay, Moon Honey does. So yes, it's like a ladybug of luck. Like seeing a ladybug just, yeah, okay. A symbol on the card, huh? Wounded warriors. Reza. Hmm. Okay, all right, good, good. Okay, you're all here. Yeah, because I did, I don't know. So is that if it's okay? I'm going to go to Maria's question, Moon Honey, because she did ask this question the other day, and I hadn't got to it. And so she is seeking a general reading. A general reading. I'm good, huh? So what you want, Maria, is you want to love her and make her happy because it makes you happy. So why don't we ask? Hmm, why can't I love her? Why can't I love her? Maybe there is. I mean, granted, it takes. Why can't I love her? That's your question. Does my person really want me to leave them alone? Does she really want me to go away? Okay, all right. Hmm. So are these like Christian, trolls out there just going around to every single diviner's channel to go harass them? All right, let's go to Moon Honey. I'm going to find some other way to clear the air here. That's what they do, yeah. All right. I guess obviously they've never read the Chronicles of Narnia, have they? They never read the Chronicles of Narnia. They never saw that part of the story when they were reading that story, when the kids were walking with Aslan and they were wanting to know about someone else, and Aslan comes and tells them, "Oh, that's that's not for you to know that story. That's not your story. That's not your story to know. That person's story is that person's story, and your story is your story." At least that's what I kind of think about sometimes when we talk about some of these questions, anyways. So maybe if I just use this to clear the air, this old harmonica, just tune a note. It's not the same as that incense burner. That kind of bothers me. I was bothered all day yesterday about that. I put an email out to the owner of the sound, and we'll see if that copyright claim gets removed and so forth. All right. Mother Mary. Moon Honey had a question. She was seeking general guidance into her life right now in the here and now. She's selected the number 3, and so we are going to. Okay, I will do the harmonica instead of my incense burner, though I like my incense burner. I've had this incense burner since after I came home from Israel and had that transformative experience. I do love this incense burner. It has great meaning to me. But all right, we're going to go to page 3. She chose the first page. And if Desiree, if you're still there, this is one of my latest bibliomancy oracles. It was given to me um, to my son from my mother. My mother gave this to me, and this was from my grandma Elsie. My father, when that's the address from Portland, Oregon. So they've had my grandmother Elsie, because her mother was the fortune teller. Her mother came from Sweden. Her mother, her dad, her father, or my grandfather, Lester Lindbergh. He was a first generation American, but his parent, his father, they never, there was no speaking of a mother. So I'm assuming the mother either never came, or she died, or she ran away. I don't know. I don't know anything about my great grandmother. But that's where they used to live in Portland. And so this was one of my grandmother's book. I have this phantom memory from being down at my grandmother's house and trying to play solitaire with a Tarot de Marseille deck. But my aunt who owns that house, when I asked her about it, if your great grandmother, her grandmother, or her mother owned a tarot deck, there was no mention of a tarot deck being owned. But I have this memory. I call it a phantom memory, I think, of that, of trying to play solitaire with a tarot deck when I was a kid. So this is the Prophet, and since the Prophet is off copyright, I can certainly use it here. And so she selected the first page, and for Moon Honey, we'll see if there's your your black sheet of times past are cheering you on. Yeah, can't pronounce this first word. The chosen and the beloved, who was a dawn on into his own day, had waited years, 12 years in the city of Orphalese for his ship that was to return to bear him back to the isle of his birth. And in the 12th year of the 7th day of Elu, the month of reaping, he climbed the hill without the city walls and looked seaward and beheld his ship coming with the mist. Then the gates of his heart were flung open, and his joy flew far over the sea, and he closed his eyes and prayed in the silence of his soul. But as he descended the hill, a sadness came upon him, and he thought in his heart, how shall I go in peace without sorrow? Nay, without a wound in the spirit shall I leave this city. So what does this page say? The Empress, page 3. So we have Empress energy. I think of that What is it? Which one is the Three of Wands? I gotta not hit. I gotta do something about this microphone. Three of Wands. You know, that page has Three of Wands energy all over it. We have that Empress energy, and we have that Three of Wands energy, where you cast out something out to sea, and then you're looking at those ships, and those ships, as when they come in, that's the manifestation of something that you started in the past, waiting for ships to come in. Three of Wands, waiting for ships to come in, waiting for your ship to come in. It's appearing out of the mist on that page 3. It was about boats, and you cast something out, and you wish to have, and you cast this thing out there. And what Spirit is saying is that it is starting to come into being. It is starting to materialize. It is starting to manifest in your life. Whatever it is that you've been working on. Moon, honey. That thing is on the horizon. It's out there. It's in one of those little boats. One of those little boats. Waiting for whatever current, whatever tide, for the wind to blow just right to come into your harbor. And you can go aboard your ship. Maybe you go sail out in it, or maybe somebody unloads from it that thing that is your heart's desire. So 3, the Empress. 3, creative expression. That it is time to come into yourself so that you can express who you are, rather than hide who you are. Moon, honey, it is time to come into yourself and express who you are in your actions. Express who you are in your actions. And then let's just go see I'm going to look at the Empress card. I apologize that I do not have all the card meanings memorized. Maybe someday I will. But for the time being, we're just playing that poet's game, the word game, and unpacking those keywords that are written on top of the card. Aries is in the Emperor to you. But we can also look at some other 3 energy. We have the 3 of Pentacles, something that you're working on. Let's just go pull out all the 3s in this deck. We can do that. I should have thought of that in the first place. Because when I go do the Empress, when I do my weekly a weekly thing, every week I do a page number out of my St. Joseph's Missal, and then I just I don't draw random cards for me. I draw cards based upon those numbers, page numbers, and so forth. Is there one more 3 here? Hmm. 3 of Swords. I think that's all of them. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Empress. And so in this sense of the threes, you're looking at a connection to nature, to connect to your feminine self, your divine feminine, and we look at that page on number 3. Self-expression, communication, optimism, communicating with yourself. 12 and 7. So we have 12. We have the hanged man looking at life from a different perspective. 7, barreling forward on your chariot. Page 3, you chose this page. The reaping. Soon that which you have sowed will come into existence. The manifestation of that which you have sowed. The seeds that you have cast out there, the manifestation of those seeds will come into existence. You do have a sadness, yes. But don't we all have a sadness in our hearts for something? A sadness for him? A sadness for a hymn out there in your heart? Peace without sorrow? A wound in the spirit? Then the other 3 we have is a wound. We're looking at pain and distress from a wound. We have the 3 of Cups. We have community. We have gathering. We have friendship. And we have the 3 of Pentacles of that of working. And so if we look at that page, you have been working on something. You have cast those seeds out. You're working on it. And those things are starting to come into being. You need to work on expressing yourself. You have your wound, this woundedness within you. You need to seek other people to help you through this. Because there is strength in unity with others, family, with friends, to celebrate together the emotions of your heart, that emotional strength out there, the 3, coming into a place where you can express yourself. So your card is the Chariot. Look at that. And I did say the Chariot because the Chariot is that number 7. We have 7 and we have 12. Those were the numbers that were here. This is not your most orthodox reading here. We have 12, the Hanged Man, but we have that, looking at life from a different perspective. You know, you're hanging out there, and then you see the world from being upside down. And to take a look at these things, to take a look at your woundedness, to take a look at those things that you've tried to accomplish, and to put it together into a new narrative that express these things differently. Those things in your life and that stuff that you've cast out there, that it's okay to go, you know, look upside down. And yes, it is easier. Everything is easier said than done, isn't it? Love yourself, yes. Don't let your emotions overrun you, yes. Don't let that stuff just barrel on, and then you're just getting short-circuited, or, you know, like I was yesterday, all derailed because of that copyright claim. But then, you know, things will work out. They will work out. We have to make changes, do changes and stuff like that. Does any of this stuff make sense, Moon Honey? But we look at all these numbers together. The 7, the 12, the 3s. 3 times 5 is 15. And so 3 times 5 is 15. And so that's 6. Love. We have love, the number 6. And let's see if the love card is acceptable to pull out of here. Nope, the love card is not a YouTube friendly deck. It's not a YouTube friendly. It's a nudie card. And so we have our from all of this. We have your love barreling forward on this chariot and looking at your life from a different point of view. And how do these numbers manifest themselves as 12 and 19? 1 plus 9 is 10 or 1. So what we can say is that these are your kind of cards, the nudie cards. Yeah. Oh, wait. I got to get that off like that because Jeff got he got like a copy. He got a strike on his account for showing off nudie cards. And anyways, so what I got for you, let's just to summarize things here. Moon Honey, you need to connect to the world, connect to your feminine energy, connect to nature. You are working on things. Continue to work on those things because soon your ship is going to come in. Those things that you've been working on will expand and become this new beginning. This new beginning that has infinite potential. Infinite potential to become your heart's desire. And then these other numbers that were here, the 7, the 12, the chariot, and the hanged man. And while you're at it and you're still working on bringing those things into existence, make sure that you go forward into that, but also take the time to look at things from a brand new perspective and never forget that love is always there. Love is always there. Not losing your cool. All right. All right. Did that help you? Does that help you at all? Did that help you at all? Or is this unorthodox reading too unorthodox? All right, let's go to Maria. Well, that's right. Like and subscribe. Yeah, I forgot about that, but asking. Light and shadow. Great, great. I'm glad that you got something out of this. Page 3, the Empress. All right, let's go move on. I'm going to have a little sip of water here. Who out there feels like that time change thing is really kicking their arse? I do like the fact that we got more daylight up here. So you're open to receive. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for allowing me to just go off there and then also using my new oracle. I think I might, if I can afford it, I want to add that Bhagavad Gita in there as an oracle. You love more daylight. Yeah, I like more daylight too, but the transition, is like, and so instead of like going to bed, I think I fell asleep last night someplace between 4 and 5 in the morning. But I was like really, really stressed out but then I wouldn't have been so stressed out if you know, sleep is so important. If you don't get enough sleep, just some minor thing can just blow you right out of proportion, you know. Oh, we had that. Yeah, that's right. We did have that moon eclipse. I guess it was good that I thought about when I just did the thumbnail image. I just pulled this thing out, my moon card that I painted on 999 show about a year ago. I'm not quite ready to start painting again, but it's kind of soon. I'm still really, really tired. I kind of look at the easel. I look at a canvas. I look at the canvases that I haven't started yet, and I just go stare at them, and I'm just really, really tired. So Maria, you weren't aware of the time change, so you just kind of went on with your life as though it wasn't even there. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, we are with Maria, and so let me. I need another sip of water. I got like a soup on the stove, and I think almost everything that is in the soup I'm making today came from the food bank. And it's a tribal food pantry that's like not too far away from where I live. And I, I live in a food desert. I probably have talked about it, but I live in a food desert, and um, when I go to the grocery store, the nearest grocery store that you can get decent produce is 25 miles one way. And so my shopping areas of where I go when I go to grocery stores, it's 25, and then um, or I go to the coast. I go to the coast sometimes. And during the coast is actually I'm actually equidistant, kind of like 25 miles this way, that way, and then to the state capital it's like 40 miles away. So it's a drive, and so there is the local stores that are local that and they sell mostly candy, junk food, chips, and beer and liquor. That stuff is available really really close by. Gasoline. There's the tribal gasoline station that's not too far away. And then you can get like some canned goods, some frozen pizzas, some fried chicken and stuff like that. That stuff is available locally. The produce is iffy, and then like maybe you go buy a package of hamburger and it's you know quite a ways away. So yeah, often I just go to the tribal food bank, and plus it does it does make your dollars go further. Go to the food bank. And so what I have on the stove cooking is a soup made with almost all of the ingredients that went into the soup came from the food bank, with the exception of the beef tallow that I use to saute the vegetables, um, the carrots, some garlic, some raw turmeric, and some raw ginger. And everything else, Anyways, you don't need to know that. So let's go clear the air. I'm just talking, just talking. Thanduluzolo, welcome back. Welcome back, Thanduluzolo. And then we have some other questions. We'll go do Maria's question, and then we have this other question from the other day. All right, let's go to the harmonica. Let's clear the air out. I want everybody's focus to be back here on Maria's question. Mother Mary. Maria has a question. Maria wants to be with her person, but her person does not share the same feelings or the same thing, but her person gives her hope and then pulls back her hope. Mother Mary, Maria wants to know is, should she just leave her person alone? Okay. All right, Maria. Should should you leave your person alone? Should you just leave them alone? Hmm. It was no song, it was just a tone. All right, let's mix and match the cards up there for Maria. All right. Blessed is the fruit of your womb, Maria. And just as before, Maria, it is a very inconclusive thing. And it may be that you're asking this question too many times. And it gets kind of tricksy when you keep asking about your person. Now what you want to do is be with this person, because this person is the light of your life. You're putting in the efforts and you're kind of just waiting around there. You're looking for this person and you're trying to, you know, want this crop to grow. Here you are on this shovel, this hoe, out in the field, and your person is there growing, tending to the garden of your person, looking to see, is this person going to grow into something? Is it going to grow into something that is worthwhile, that is stable, something that will sustain, that will sustain a mutual attraction, a mutual agreement, a mutual relationship between you and your person in this crop, growing into something, a love that is growing. In this card, it says just be more patient. Be patient. And then we have this sense of that there is this this feeling of maybe an imbalance. Uh, One of the words that the first word that just popped out on this codependency. Your love is upside down, this upside down love, but at the same time you're tied together in this this tug of war of misunderstanding, misfiring of, you put this out here like that, and then it comes back all warped and out of balance. Welcome, Mama Sushi. I was thinking about you. And then also that exists in this relationship is a lot of pity, a lot of self pity, a lot of gloom and doom. And whether this is, and if this is coming from the part of your person, why can't I love her? You ask the question. Or maybe that is what I said in response to this, that why can't you love her? Why does she not like to receive your love? Why does she block your love? Why does she block your love? You turn to her and she turns away and hides her face under this cloak. Wine cups turned upside down, pouring their contents onto the ground, and two cups full behind. A loving heart behind. But she would rather look at these empty cups and look into the gloom of that sky over there. Because inside her, it is all gray. Your love hits the back of this cloak and it spills out of the cup. And so we are again, and it feels like the last few times that I've read on this, your person, that it's really the same answer keeps coming up in one fashion or another. Same answer. Oh, the bottom card? The bottom card is the Page of Cups. That maybe there is a new infatuation in her life. Five and seven is 12. We have 12, which is 12-3. We're going to look at that 12 as Hanged Man. A different perspective is needed, and a need to express yourself, self-expression. And then we have this 2, the upside down 2, out of balance. It's the darkness. So the yin, the light, up, yang, the dark, down. This out of balance. The darkness dominates this relationship. And then we have this other 2 as well. This other 2. And together we are looking at 5, 6, 7. And together, and I think if I look at the spirit of what I see here, oh, the whole totals. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. Yeah, 14 being temperance. And so, in a sense, that you are pouring these liquids into the cup, and it's not really getting, you're not really pouring together. There's a mismatch. And so maybe what's going on in your person is this person is infatuated with somebody else. That may be the case. Well, does that help you at all, Maria? Maybe sort of yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we go and see the chuck of the collective. We have one other, I think, was there one other question? Oh, that's not the right one. Let's see what Mother Mary has to say about about you. Let's see what Mother. Oh, this one just flew out. I don't know if this is you. Our Lady of Sacred Union. Conflict can be motivating or it can be exhausting if it has been continuing for too long without relief. Make space in your heart for the way beyond current inner conflicts to be revealed. There is always another way, no matter how set in stone your situation may appear to be. Our Lady's hand is guiding you along the path out of conflict and into a new, joyful harmony. Something new is on the horizon for you. Maybe it's you with another infatuation, a new infatuation coming. Maybe that is what is there. And look, the moon card, the illusions, and that was kind of what I was thinking in terms of this whole reading. And here's the card image there. I always like that. I like this deck. I don't use it enough. It's so pretty. You should all go out and watch that video that I made with this. And go share it too, because it's got a lot of views on it. It has potential to have a lot more views. Channeling our pain through art. So there we got it. Let's see, we have someone else. Maybe I can even take a walk before dark. So this was the other question. Did somebody else? You may ask a question. You may ask a question. Is today the 9th? It's the 10th, isn't it? Yeah, today's the 10th. That's right, because I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I was supposed to get an MRI before I was taking my doctor's appointment, but every time I thought to, you should go walk in the rain. Yeah, well, I'll be walking in the rain. I do got to bring the wood in soon. One of these has got to be the last question. I know the dog's food is done. So, what about your future? What do you need to know? All right, why don't you, uh, 200, why don't you give me a page number? This book starts on page 3 and it ends on page 105. So 200, can you give me a page between 3 and 105, please, for this little book here? What message do you, this little book here, it may have a message for you. What number comes into your mind? What number? Something placed between 3 and 105? 3 and 105. That number you choose is part of your future. Page 55. All right. Page 55. All right. Okay, let us start by clearing the air. And as I mentioned earlier here, when I used my incense burner to bang out a tone to clear the air, I got a copyright claim on that noise, that sound, sound. So I'm going to just use this harmonica here, and we will make a tone from this harmonica. Because how can you like copyright claim individual notes? How is that possible? Maybe it was the percussive notes in the interval, the percussive notes of those two notes in that interval, and that is what was. Yeah, I know, but you can only have so many copyright strikes before they take your channel down. All right. Mother Mary, 200 has a question. What messages do you have for her, Mother Mary, about tomorrow? What things about tomorrow should 200 pay attention to? Any signs and wonders that 200 should pay attention to? She has selected the number 55. 55. Ready for change. Ready for a change of pace. To start something new, because 5 plus 5 equals 10. 10 is the end of a cycle, and it's the beginning of a brand new one. Ready for change. Ready for something new. Ready to be freed from whatever it is that 200 is experiencing right now. Spin the wheel of fortune. Okay? We have that card. We have that card. We have that card. But let's look at page 25, 55. And the priestess spoke again and said, "Speak to us of reason and passion." And he answered, saying, "Your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion and your appetite. Would that I could be the peacemaker in your soul, that I might turn the discord and rivalry of your elements into oneness and melody. But how shall I unless you yourself be also the peacemakers, nay, the lovers of all your elements, your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. If either your sails and your rudder be broken, you can but toss and drift, or else be held at a standstill mid seas." So 200, there is a war going on within you. Discord, chaos, the battlefield of reason and judgment against your passion. So it's almost like you have those things that you are very passionate about, 200, and your dreams and your goals, and but there's this other voice that comes in and derails you. That voice of reason. And but both reason and passion are important in your life, because here it says the reason you're is the rudder of your boat, because you are on a little boat in the sea. You need to keep your sails up, because if you put your sails down, you might not make any progress. So you have to continue working on your dreams. But you also have to continue to plan and using your reason, your mind. And don't let other people do the thinking for you. You were given a mind to be used. You were given a heart to burn with passion of yourself, your creativity, your creative self. But passion also needs to be tempered by your mind. You let your passion go wild, and you may end up Don't um don't allow what I'm seeing here is don't allow others to derail you. Your heart, the thoughts of your heart, the thoughts of your mind. And then you are at war with yourself. You have all the tools you need. You're a magician. You're a magician. You can manifest what it is that you're working on, manifest that stuff into reality. And you have 5, you want to make a change. You need to make a change. So that change is you're just moving the rudder in your boat, changing the sails and catching that wind in a different place. But you have to make sure on your boat that everything is working well. Because you want to make sure that your rudder is in good shape, that it's not going to snap off in a storm. You have to make sure that your sails don't have any holes in them. You need to patch the holes in your sails. Keep your ship in good running order. Your body. Eat good food. Rest. Dance. Dance. Enjoy. Under the sun, under the rain, under the sky. Lifting your hands up to the sky in praise. Praise be, brother sun, brother sky, sister ground. We are all siblings here. All siblings, all related, all cousins. All part of the created order. Spend time in that created order. Celebrate your siblings. The sun, the sky, the stars, the moon, the ground beneath your feet, the plants, the animals. Look upon everyone as a created being just like yourself. Go out into nature and talk to a tree. Touch the bark. Feel the life force within. Maybe you don't feel it. Maybe you just imagine that it's there. Because all of this begins with imagination. It is through imagination that we touch the mind of God. God created us with imagination, with passion, with reason. I don't know if this answers your question. 200 things out there in the future. Spend time in the now. The future will take care of itself. But you want to know what is out there for you, what kind of thing can you, what do you need to know that might pop up in your way? A web, a scale, a sore, an ash. Scales can sometimes represent an evening of a score, or an evening out, evening, a balancing of a woundedness, a web, building a web and bringing things in, capturing things. What do you need to know? A web, a scale, a sore, an ash. An ash could be a tree. There is a tree called ash. An ash could be that something in you has been on fire, and that something in you, that passion that has been on fire, has been reduced to nothing but ash and rot. So be mindful of your boat. That's what that page 55 said. Be mindful of the rudder. Be mindful of the sails. Be mindful of the structural integrity of that boat. Look for rot. Look for wounds. And look for what? A gala? A party? Web, when I first saw the word web, I immediately thought of web of lies. Beware of a web of lies. Gossip. Things that will damage your sore heart, sore feet, sore soul. And this number was 14, and 14 reduces to 5. So what you're looking at overall is a change is on its way. A change, 200, is on its way. So change. Overall, is there some change coming? But be mindful of your boat and making sure that everything is in working order. Okay? Okay. So maybe a good change, but maybe it's this sense of this sore, a woundedness. Maybe a new wound will come into your heart. And there's this other word, rot. Rot's not necessarily a good word. Something rotting away. And then this notion of web and web of lies. But you can look on this, and there may be some words on here that really pop out for yourself. And there's that other word over here, duet, something that happens with someone else. Monkey and a lion. So monkey and a lion. So we're looking at that monkey in that sense of the musician, a cleverness, and then we have what with that, the wheel of fortune. Spin the wheel of fortune, and something new will pop up in its place. And of course, there was that, the fool, something new afoot, something you need to trust and jump off the cliff for. I don't know if that helped. I don't know. Maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree here. I don't know anymore. 7 o'clock. Looks like I didn't get to these questions. These other ones. I guess we'll start this one the next time. Um, yeah. You get those cards and change to something you don't like. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's all we got for you guys. It's almost dark. It's time for dinner. I hope that all you guys are having a good time. Good time adjusting to one less hour of sleep. It's like time slipped. Missing time. I could swear that I had missing time the other night. I was doing like the dishes. I was getting myself like all full of anxiety and whatever. Probably because lack of sleep or whatever. Then I had that conversation with the other Sarah. Uh, when I went on her channel, we talked about alien dreams and so forth. And so now, in the middle of the night, when I'm all still wired out from all the coffee I've had throughout the day, I start thinking like I've seen aliens. Was that an alien outside? And you forget to lock the door, and you're all terrified at night because the aliens are coming to get you. That's kind of how I felt. All right. Thank you, Care Bear. Thank you, Sarah, for your hard work. Thank you, 200. Thank you, Moon Honey. Thank you, Maria. Beautiful Maria. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mama Sushi. And I'll even thank the troll there, even though I deleted all of his, blocked him from the channel. But I still did. It was those trolls, Mama Sushi, that and Rizaya. Thank you, Rizaya. Thank you. Who was it? Nathan? Nathaniel? Nathaniel? Welcome. Thank you, Nate. Oh, and Desiree. She was here for a short time. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you, everybody, for giving me the old heart there. Oh, the troll cracked me up. Well, you know what? It was those trolls, Karen, that got me really to be thinking about needing a ready answer. A ready answer. And I'm still kind of working on that ready answer for how to counter the trolls and so forth. I know that there is no there is no reasoning. There's that word reason. There is no reasoning with somebody who sees you, who's trolling you or whatever. There is no reasoning with that individual. I mean, um, I scared them away. Well, Sarah, I didn't really scare them away. I don't know if I scared them away. I just eventually went in there and I went in and hid them or blocked them from the channel because natural born leader. It was because it was Mama Sushi, and this was around that time that I hit my tower moment, and Mama Sushi um, was because there was another one of those trolls trolls that was coming in and it was harassing. I was doing a reading, but there was all this harassment that was going on in the chat, and if you know me, I actually don't have a problem with the trolls, but I did have a problem with the fact that these trolls, when they come in and they harass you guys, and so that bothers me because you're here to have a nice, maybe a good time. I don't know what it is. You're having fun. You're having being in a supportive environment, and then you have someone come in and disrupt that, and so because that that coyote spirit in me, because I do have that spirit of the coyote that is also a troll, because I've done plenty of trolling in the past. I have that troll heart too, and that desire to, because I've told many times, I told stories on my other channel about, you know, essentially doing exactly that. Inviting the Jehovah Witness into my house to talk. And when I was way more versed in theology, when I had all that at my fingertips, and I could have a face-to-face trolling conversation with someone whose philosophical path I didn't agree with, or I didn't really care that they had that, and just didn't want to be bothered with it. And it was that one time when I did do that that um, they didn't come around for a while. They didn't come around for a while. And then the next time they came around, I was working graveyard, and then they were always coming around, and they were catching me when I was in my underwear, because was working graveyard and I was sleeping during the day. And then when they asked, well, can we come in? I says, no, you can't come in. Can't you just see that I'm working nights these days, and I'm standing there at the door, in my underwear, and thinking, do you want to come into somebody's house to talk about the Lord while somebody's just woke up in the morning, or woke up? I mean, and it was just like, well, we want to share the good news with you, and all that. And I'm thinking, can you come back when I'm awake? Anyways, that's all I got here. I'm gonna have dinner. I'm gonna have dinner. I'm gonna try. Let's see. I got that doctor appointment tomorrow. I have writers group tomorrow night. And on Thursday on 999 show, Karen, I have both Lexi and Hershey on. And so I think I sent you an email to talk about that. But so 3 o'clock my time, and Lexi's going to be on for like roughly an hour. And then right after Lexi, I'll have Hershey on. So we're going to be trying to talk about the theme we have is, these are really dark times. This war is really upsetting. It's really upsetting to me. It's upsetting to a lot of people, and everybody's thinking that the world is going to end, or it's going to have a nuclear Armageddon and all that stuff, bringing back memories of being in the Cold War, and having nuclear Armageddon on your mind all the time. So we're the theme of Thursday's program on 999 show is really about shadow and light, and how to stay positive during dark times. And Lexi is, if anyone has been to Alexis Milner's channel, Lexi is a fountain of positivity. She bubbles over with positivity. And so she's like this positive expert spirit. I'm not a spirit of expert in positivity, because am a pessimist to or to a large degree, but um, I try to be positive. But like yesterday, I wanted to come on, but I was exhausted yesterday. No sleep. Anyways, I hear people want something to eat. My little dog is ready for dinner. It's almost dark. I need to bring the wood in. I haven't been walking, and you'll let me know soon. Well, Karen, I want you to come back on 999 show. I know that you had that trauma. You had like almost like a big religious trauma thing going on. Maybe you could come on as just a voice on the phone. I can give you that. I'll email you that number, and you can call that number when I have that show. I'm gonna have my buddy, my brother from another mother, coming on Friday night. I'm not doing any YouTubing at all on Saturdays, but probably when we come into spring, into summer, I probably will go back to live streaming 6 days a week on both of these channels. The astrology of this war has fast. Oh well, look, I was just thinking about you there, Mr. K. Yeah. So the other guy there, I can't ever pronounce. I don't his channel name. A bunch of random letters of D's and T's and E's and W's is and Sarah, if you're still there, Sarah, when I told that story about the bowling ball and the guy hitting the strike in the other lane, I think it was on my 22nd birthday when I organized a bowling party. Well, Sarah, the guy there with the DDTELWL, that guy, well, that's the guy who hit the strike in the other lane. He's been I've known him since he was like 18 years old. Since he was like 18 or 19 years old, I think. And yeah, old. It's like so we were kids when we were kids when we met, and we just been like good friends ever since. So that story about him hitting he reluctantly came bowling because I like to bowl, but I still like bowling, and I'm not any good at it, but I like it. Anyways, I'm gonna go before I get in trouble. 7 o'clock now, time for dinner. Thank you, everybody, and if you're watching this on the playback, which you're not, it's like give one of these in the one of these in the comment section, and oh, I think that there's a one of these emojis. I think there's one of these emojis. If you can see that, one of these emojis too. Okay, that's all we got. Bye bye for now, and good night. Thank you very much for your support. Like and subscribe if you like my content. If not, that's fine. Bye bye. Roll the dice. Yeah.